Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a StarCraft 2 commentary on Lost Temple between the yellow Terran 1ntolerant, situated at the 6 o'clock position on the map, against the blue Zerg Archaemon, situated at the 12 o'clock position on the map. Note that this is a non-competitive custom game between one of my close buddies and I. We used to play a lot of StarCraft 2 beta together back in the winter, but we haven't been able to have a good 1v1 game since the release of the game. And as a matter of fact, I haven't played much StarCraft 2 at all since the release of the game, and that's shown in my extremely low APM. Wow, you can see Archaemon just skyrocketing over my APM, 93 to 25 on average. Now, when I face off against Zerg, I tend to like going for an 8 racks, and the reason being is that I can send out that early Reaper to provide some nice mineral harass. But due to the last patch on StarCraft 2, Terran is required to build that first supply depot, and as you can see is what I'm doing right now. Now, I also like going for an early refinery, and the reason being is because, like most Terran players, we block off the front entrance to our main base, and that allows us to safely tech up, doing variations of the 111 build, barracks, factory, starport. As you can see, my SCV is scouting the eastern side of the map, mis-scouting, seeing that Overlord coming from the north, and Archaemon is scouting the western side of the map, and is also gonna miss. Did put down that barracks. And Archaemon did go for a 13-14 pool, getting that extractor down first. And looks like we do not cross paths, but I will discover where his base is, and likewise for the Zerg player. And that barracks is almost complete. And the Zerg player is going to be very annoying here and attack the SCV building that barracks. But fortunately for myself, that barracks does complete, and I send that injured SCV back to my mineral line, and I assign another SCV to attack that drone. And we have some very good play by the Zerg player Archaemon here, as he did see I opted for an orbital command, which tells him that I'm up for the macro game, and he does go ahead and steal my gas, throwing that extractor down, and I do respond by building a proxy bunker right outside his base and sending that first Marine to that bunker. And it does not look like Archaemon realizes this proxy bunker. Sending that first Marine up, but there are two Zerglings running outside the base. Now he does see that bunker, but he chooses to run past it. Now my Marine does able to dodge those Zerglings, which turn but continue to go back up to his base, and I do get that Marine into that bunker and almost killing that drone. Wow, I should have focus fired down that drone. Mistake on my part. And I do almost have my factory up, and as you can see, I still have not destroyed that extractor, so my build is less gas intensive. As you can see, I'm putting down that reactor so that I can build more Marines than Marauders. Now, the Zerg player has a couple options here. He can build a couple of Zerglings and maybe go down the ramp with his queen and try to take out that bunker. But most Zerg players will just be patient and spread their creep tumors so that their creep will reach the ledge right out here, so that they can build a nice spine crawler, which do outrange the Marines in the bunker. Archaemon doing a nice job here spreading his creep using those creep tumors. I do throw down 2 additional barracks due to my lack of gas. I do seem to be opting for a nice infantry build here. See, it's always a great thing to try to do whatever it takes to prevent the Zerg from expanding like crazy. It's very difficult to beat Zerg at the long game. With their macro build, they can just build the units so much quicker. And that spine crawler does move to the cliff to get into range of that bunker. And it does look like my contain will cease to be as soon as this spine crawler goes ahead and pokes away. Now I did see this happening, so what I did was I unloaded my Marines and I tried salvaging my bunker. Oh, that was very close. I'm actually not sure whether I was able to salvage that or not, but at least I tried. My Marines and SV do go down, and the Archdemon does go for his natural expansion. Over on my end, I do build that early armory as I am planning a Thor drop. I have a couple of Marines here finally getting my refinery. And the Zerg player does send his Zerglings to test the front gates of my base, but I do have a handful of Marines and a tank there, so he does back off. Natural expansion slowly going down. Got a Roach Warren Queen. And he does leave a Zergling by the Xel'Naga Watchtower, which is very good play. You always want to see an incoming attack. And he does start attacking those destructible rocks by his second expansion for that natural high yield. And I do throw down that starport. And my Thor does arrive. And we have some very good play by the Zerg player as he throws down a spire on the very edge of his base using his Overlord, just pooping some creep on the side. But unfortunately for him, I'm a greedy Terran player and I do not tend to use the energy from my orbital command on scans, more preferably on those mules to get more minerals. Now I do start building a dropship here and I do realize I should expand. I tend not to expand too early just because I like getting a healthy number of units just in case the Zerg decides to push, but I do build my command center inside my base so that I can lift off and secure my natural expansion. Now the Zerg player does send an Overseer here, and I'm not sure whether he spots my Thor. Yes, he does. My Thor does engage, and that Overseer just being very annoying, throwing down that Changeling. I actually did not realize this during the game, so he has good view of what I'm producing. He sees that starship, and I do go for that Thor dropship, even though the Zerg player had tremendous view of that attack incoming. Now he is well prepared, throwing that spine crawler by the edge and having that queen on standby to intercept. Now I do throw down that Thor, trying to pick off that Overlord. Thor does get poked by that spine crawler, trying to pick off that Overlord, but deciding it's not worth it. I send my dropship back, and 4 mutas do engage my Thor. They're not magic boxed, but I don't think it really matters, as my Thor looks like it will go down, taking out 2 Mutalisks, trying to get that third, and I do get that third Mutalisk before that Thor is destroyed. Now that was a relatively fair trade-off, as Thors are what, 300 minerals, and Mutalisk 3 Mutalisks. Yeah, that was a relatively fair trade-off. But that Zerg does have that natural expansion, and I do need to push out soon. I do have 2 dropships, a nice number of Marines, 1 Marauder,